Transportation in plants. Detailed explanation. Transport of water via xylem. Xylem components. Vessels and tracheids form a continuous network from roots, stems, leaves. Conduct water and minerals in only upward direction. How does water enter? Root cells actively absorb ions, using ATP. This creates a concentration gradient. Water moves from soil root cells by osmosis. Transport in plants. Definition. Transport in plants refers to the movement of water, minerals, and food from one part of the plant to another through specialized tissues called xylem and phloem. Why transport is necessary in plants? Plants absorb water and minerals from the soil through roots. Photosynthesis occurs in the leaves, mainly, producing glucose. These substances must be distributed to all parts of the plant, including growing tissues and storage organs. Simple diffusion is insufficient for tall or complex plants. Hence, an efficient transport system is required. Xylem. Structure. Made up of 4 types of cells. Tracheids. Elongated cells with tapering ends. Vessels. Long tube-like structures for continuous water flow. Xylem parenchyma. Stores food and helps in lateral transport. Xylem fibers. Provide mechanical support. Function. Transport of water and minerals from roots to all parts of the plant. Provides mechanical support due to thick walls. Location. Found in roots, stems, leaves, and vascular bundles of all parts of the plant. Always travels upward only. Mechanism of water transport in xylem. Root pressure. Roots actively absorb minerals from the soil. Water follows via osmosis, creating a pressure that pushes water up. Transpiration pull. Water evaporates from the stomata in leaves. Transpiration. This creates a suction, negative pressure, pulling water up the xylem. Capillarity. Water rises in thin tubes due to surface tension and adhesion. Phloem. Structure. Composed of sieve tubes, main conducting elements, companion cells. Help sieve tubes with energy and regulation. Phloem parenchyma stores food. Phloem fibers. For support. Only dead element in phloem. Function. Transports products of photosynthesis, mainly sucrose, from leaves to other plant parts, roots, fruits, flowers. Transports upward and downward, bidirectional. This process is called translocation. Location. Present in all vascular parts. Leaves, stems, roots, fruits, and flowers. Mechanism of food transport in phloem. Translocation. Loading of sugar. Sugars, like sucrose, are actively loaded into phloem using ATP. Water enters. Water moves into phloem from adjacent xylem by osmosis. This increases pressure in sieve tubes. Pressure flow. Pressure pushes the phloem sap to areas of lower pressure, e.g. roots, storage organs. Unloading. Sugars are actively transported out at the sink. Destination. Water returns to xylem. Summary table. Features xylem phloem. Transported material water and minerals food, mainly sucrose. Direction only upward, both upward and downward. Energy use passive, no energy. Active uses ATP. Main cells tracheids, vessels sieve tubes, companion cells. Transpiration. Definition. Loss of water as vapor from aerial parts, mainly leaves, via stomata. Functions. Pulls water upward from roots. Helps in cooling and temperature regulation. Aids in nutrient transport. 5.5 Excretion. Overview. What is excretion? Excretion is the biological process of removing harmful metabolic waste, like nitrogenous compounds, from the body. In unicellular organisms, wastes are removed by diffusion. In multicellular organisms, specialized excretory organs are used. 5.5.1 Excretion in human beings. Why is excretion needed? Respiration produces CO2 removed via lungs. Protein metabolism produces nitrogenous waste, urea, uric acid, removed by kidneys. Human excretory system. Pointwise notes. 1. Definition of excretion. Excretion is the biological process by which metabolic waste products, like urea, uric acid, excess salts, water, etc., are removed from the body. Let's understand the main organs of the human excretory system, which work together to remove waste from the body in the form of urine. First, we have two kidneys. Located on either side of the backbone, just below the ribs, the kidneys are bean-shaped organs that filter the blood and form urine by removing urea, toxins, and excess water. Next, connected to each kidney are the ureters, two thin tubes that transport urine from the kidneys to the urinary bladder. The urinary bladder lies in the lower abdomen. It acts like a storage tank, holding the urine temporarily until it is ready to be expelled from the body. Finally, urine exits the body through the urethra, located at the lower end of the bladder. This process of removing urine from the body is called egestion or urination. So remember, the main excretory organs in humans are the kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder, and urethra, each playing a vital role in keeping our body clean and balanced. Let's take a closer look at the kidneys, the main excretory organs of the human body. A. Location. The kidneys are two bean-shaped organs, located on either side of the spine, just below the ribs in the abdominal cavity. They are well protected by the lower ribs and cushioned by surrounding fat. B. Function. The kidneys play multiple critical roles. First, they filter nitrogenous wastes like urea and uric acid from the blood, removing harmful substances through urine. Second, they maintain the body's water balance, electrolyte balance, and even help regulate the acid-base balance, ensuring internal stability or homeostasis. Third, they help regulate blood pressure by secreting hormones like renin, which controls blood volume and vessel constriction. Lastly, kidneys also produce the hormone erythropoietin, which stimulates the bone marrow to produce more red blood cells. So in summary, the kidneys do much more than just make urine. They act as filters, regulators, and even hormone factories, essential for keeping us healthy. Let us now understand the external structure of the kidney. The kidneys are bean-shaped organs with a reddish-brown color. They are about 10 to 12 centimeters long in an adult human, roughly the size of a fist. Each kidney has a slight indentation on one side, called the hilum. This is the entry and exit point for three important structures: the renal artery, which brings unfiltered blood into the kidney; the renal vein, which takes filtered blood away; and the ureter, which carries urine from the kidney to the bladder. The entire kidney is wrapped in a tough fibrous capsule, providing protection and structure. This external design supports the kidney's complex internal functions, ensuring efficient blood filtration and waste removal. Now let's explore the internal structure of the kidney, where the actual filtration of blood takes place. First, we have the cortex, the outer dark region of the kidney. It contains the Bowman's capsules and parts of the nephrons, the basic functional units. Inside the cortex lies the medulla, which is the inner lighter region. It has several cone-shaped structures called renal pyramids that help in the flow of filtered substances. These pyramids drain into the pelvis, a funnel-shaped cavity. The pelvis collects the urine formed by nephrons and sends it to the ureter. And finally, the most important part, the nephrons. Each kidney contains about 1 million nephrons. These are the real working units that filter blood, remove waste, and form urine. This internal setup ensures that your kidneys perform their complex function with great efficiency. Let's now understand the structure of a nephron, the microscopic unit that actually forms urine in our kidneys. First is the Bowman's capsule, a cup-like structure that surrounds a cluster of tiny blood capillaries. It receives the filtrate from the blood. Inside the capsule is the glomerulus, a ball of capillaries that performs the first step of filtration by allowing water and small molecules to pass through while keeping back larger substances like proteins. Next, the filtrate enters the proximal convoluted tubule or PCT. This is where important substances like glucose, amino acids, and a major amount of water are reabsorbed back into the blood. The filtrate then flows into the loop of Henle. Its role is to concentrate the urine by reabsorbing water and salts, especially in the descending and ascending limbs. After that, it reaches the distal convoluted tubule, or DCT, where the final adjustments of ions and water are made, depending on the body's needs. Finally, the urine flows into the collecting duct. This duct collects urine from several nephrons and directs it to the renal pelvis, from where it travels to the ureter. Every nephron works non-stop to ensure our blood is clean, and the body stays in balance. Let's go through the steps involved in urine formation in a simplified step-by-step manner. Step 1. Glomerular filtration. It begins in the glomerulus, where blood is filtered under high pressure. This forms a filtrate containing water, glucose, salts, and nitrogenous waste like urea. Large components like blood cells and proteins stay behind in the blood. Step 2. Tubular reabsorption. As the filtrate passes through the tubules, useful substances like glucose, amino acids, and a large amount of water are reabsorbed back into the surrounding blood capillaries. This step ensures that important nutrients are not lost. Step 3. Tubular secretion. Here, the tubules actively secrete additional waste substances like hydrogen ions, H, potassium ions, K, and ammonia into the filtrate. This helps maintain pH balance and removes toxic compounds. Step 4. Urine formation. Finally, what remains is urine, a liquid made up of water, urea, and excess salts. This urine flows through the collecting duct into the renal pelvis, and then moves through the ureter toward the urinary bladder for storage. This is how our kidneys work continuously to keep our blood clean and maintain body balance. Now let's understand how urine is transported and stored in our body. Once urine is formed in the kidneys, it travels through two thin tubes called ureters, one from each kidney. These ureters carry urine down to the urinary bladder using peristaltic movements. The urinary bladder acts like a storage tank for urine. It is a muscular, stretchable organ located in the lower abdomen. As the bladder fills up with urine, it sends signals to the brain, creating the urge to urinate. Finally, urine is excreted out of the body through the urethra. This process is under voluntary control, regulated by a sphincter muscle, which allows us to control when to urinate. This entire system ensures that waste is stored and released in a controlled, efficient manner. Multiple choice questions (MCQs). The kidneys in human beings are a part of the system for answer C. Excretion. Explanation. Kidneys remove nitrogenous waste like urea from blood. The xylem in plants are responsible for answer A. Transport of water. Explanation. Xylem conducts water and minerals from roots to leaves. The autotrophic mode of nutrition requires answer D. All of the above. Explanation. Autotrophs need CO2, H2O, chlorophyll, and sunlight to perform photosynthesis. The breakdown of pyruvate to give carbon dioxide, water, and energy takes place in answer B. Mitochondria. Explanation. Aerobic respiration occurs in mitochondria, releasing energy. How are fats digested in our bodies? Where does this process take place? Fats are broken down into fatty acids and glycerol. Digestion occurs mainly in the small intestine. Bile, from liver, emulsifies fats, breaking them into small droplets. Lipase enzyme from pancreas completes fat digestion. What is the role of saliva in the digestion of food? Saliva is secreted by salivary glands. It contains the enzyme salivary amylase, which breaks down starch into maltose, sugar. It also moistens food, making it easier to chew and swallow. What are the necessary conditions for autotrophic nutrition and what are its byproducts? Necessary conditions: sunlight, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, CO2, water, HO. Byproducts: glucose used as food, oxygen released into air. Reaction: 6:2 plus 6:2 sunlight, chlorophyll, 6126 plus 6 plus 6H2O. Sunlight chlorophyll. C6H12O6 plus 6O2. What are the differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration? Name some organisms that use anaerobic respiration. Feature aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration. Oxygen requirement requires oxygen occurs without oxygen. End product CO2 and H2O alcohol or lactic acid, and CO2. Energy released high, 38 ATP. Low, 2 ATP. Site in cell mitochondria cytoplasm. Example organisms humans, animals, plants yeast, alcoholic fermentation, muscle cells, lactic acid. How are the alveoli designed to maximize the exchange of gases? Large surface area. Millions of alveoli increase surface for gas exchange. Thin walls. Single-layered epithelium allows rapid diffusion. Rich blood supply. Surrounded by capillaries to maintain gas concentration gradients. Moist surface. Aids in dissolving gases for exchange. What would be the consequences of a deficiency of hemoglobin in our bodies? Hemoglobin carries oxygen from lungs to tissues. Deficiency causes anemia. Results in fatigue and weakness, shortness of breath, pale skin, poor concentration due to less oxygen supply. Describe double circulation of blood in human beings. Why is it necessary? Double circulation. Blood passes twice through the heart in one complete cycle. Types. Pulmonary circulation. From heart, lungs, heart. Systemic circulation. From heart, body, heart. Necessity. Ensures separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Provides high efficiency in oxygen supply. Essential for warm-blooded animals like humans. What are the differences between the transport of materials in xylem and phloem? Feature xylem, phloem. Material transported water and minerals, food. Sucrose. Amino acids. Direction unidirectional, roots to leaves. Bidirectional, up and down. Energy used no, passive transport. Yes, active transport using ATP. Tissues involved vessels, tracheid sieve tubes, companion cells. Compare the functioning of alveoli in the lungs and nephrons in the kidneys with respect to their structure and functioning. Feature alveoli, lungs. Nephron, kidneys. Function exchange of O2 and CO2, filtration of blood and formation of urine. Structure tiny sac-like structures with thin walls, tubular structure with Bowman's capsule and tubules. Blood supply surrounded by capillaries for gas exchange, surrounded by capillaries for absorption and filtration. Mechanism: diffusion of gases, filtration, reabsorption, and secretion. Purpose: respiration, excretion.